Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the discussion on why data science. Data science principally works on the purpose of finding patterns within data. Data scientists constantly learn and journey their way through information, providing powerful insights in every field. However, the meteoric rise of data science has not been without controversies. And today, in this event organized by the Sundarbans Oratory Club, we are here to discuss the past, present, and future of data science. So, the first point goes like, how important do you think is data science in making informed decisions? Or what is the role of data science in decision making? You can raise your hands and go with your points. Yes, Madhu.
So first of all, good evening, everyone. How important is data science? I think like people only know the advertisement aspects of data line that we all use data science to on apps like Flipkart or Amazon to get targeted advertisements, but they don't know about the other aspect of data science, like how it is used to make great AI models, which is used for social good. And I think that that is one aspect that people don't talk about enough, and it is like growing way too much right now, and it's not just for the sake of doing data science, it's for helping other people, and it is and I'm very happy to see the boost in that kind of data science. So why data science and how important it is? It's very important, I believe, seeing the impact that it has on social good platforms and every other thing. So yeah, thank you.
Yes, very truly said, Madhukanda. Yes, Venkatesh.
Hi. Good evening, all of you. My name is Venkatesh. It was very interesting for me to be a part of this discussion because, of course, I'm doing my IT course, obviously, but I've spent a lot of time working in organizations, doing my PhD also. But I just thought I should just put some thought to all of you. One of the important things as the aspect of data science is the first thing is, whenever we are doing, and I'm taking a very, very simple example, whenever we are trying to say, all of you guys are students, we're all students, and when we want to go to Chennai, we would probably look at a thought process, of taking a decision of, going to Chennai, say from Chennai airport to IIT. We take a decision like, how's the best possible way to reach the campus. Now, so what we normally do is we don't actually iterate or do anything, but we have a mental thought process. We ask people about, which is the fastest way, which is the shortest time, which is the easiest, possibly least expensive way of reaching Chennai campus. So, data science is all about taking decisions, in my opinion. And I think as the businesses evolve, as the areas in complexity increases, I sense that that mental model which you normally do in a very simple way of calculating and asking people to reach the campus, and if you try and convert that mental model into more mathematically, like for example, you would probably do a survey for 10 days, probably take a bus for first 5 days, or probably take an auto for the next 7 days, and then possibly try and do some mathematical calculations in terms of average time or the least time. It becomes a mathematical model, and I think data science is all about building a mathematical model. And for businesses, it's like understanding a business problem, converting the business problem into a mathematical problem, then solving the mathematical problem into a mathematical solution, and thereby then converting that mathematical solution with the help of business translators for a business solution. And I think that is where data science actually encapsulates in a very large way. Now, with different sizes of complexities of business, it could be a very simple thing which could be done in Excel. You have multiple data points, like working with different customer services, different channel partners, different product lines. You may probably have larger systems like ERP where you need to fetch data. So obviously data gathering becomes little complex. So you use multiple tools right from the range of extraction of data using databases, or possibly trying to converse those databases into finding some proper filters. So you write some queries, or probably use some language based systems to churn data out. And then you do visualization, because people don't understand a normal table, so you probably do some visualizations using Tableau, Python, whatever. And then you probably then convert that mathematical solution by using some algorithms or running some analysis, and then you talk to the customer in his language, which is known as a business solution. I think data science is a very old work which we've been doing for ages. It is just that because the data has become so large using social media, every part of what you and me talk or comment on Facebook is getting captured. And the second aspect is a lot of unstructured data is there, because we just write a comment hi or we put a smiley. Of course, we don't understand what is the relevance of it, but obviously it's an unstructured data which has to be also analyzed. So I feel data science has been always there. It is just that the importance of data science has evolved to a large extent because of the complexities of number of data created. And fortunately, the lot of fraternity in mathematics and statistics have really understood the fact that you cannot just give a gut-based decision, because statistically a lot of things can be uh, proven right, and hence data science becomes very important. So I think that's what I felt like sharing. I hope it works and helps all of you.
Yes, sir, definitely. It was quite a detailed description and it was really insightful.
Thank you, thank you.
If anyone else would like to share their views on it, yes, Bhairavee, please go ahead.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So thank you so much, Lavanya, and good evening, everyone. I think we have been like, when it comes to data science, we are hearing of it as a very evolving field now. But I think we have been creating data from the time human beings have evolved. But it's only now that we have realized that we can use it, for the betterment of this entire human community when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to just very simple things happening in life from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to sleep. There are a lot of things which happen. Everything gets converted into data. And somewhere now we have realized that we could use it for the betterment of the entire human community. Is the reason why we are like giving special importance to data science. We have been working so much in this particular field. And I think since it's going to give us a lot of better prospects in the future, a lot of better things in the future. It's a really important field as of now. And yeah, I think that's why data science is important.
Yes, definitely. Definitely has a huge scope in future. Yes, Madhukanda, please go ahead.
So we were talking about data generation. Like every second, we are generating tons of data, not us only, in the whole world. There was a survey done that said like 90% of the data has been alone generated in the past 2 years. So like the growth that in the generation of data is already increasing day by day, and that's why there is so much scope. But there are some downfalls for it as well, like all our personal data and everything is getting stored. We don't have much space to store the data, that much amount of data we are creating, right? We have full hard disks and everything, and there that appraise the need for cloud generation and everything to store that much amount of data. And now those data can also cause threats, like cybersecurity is like a booming industry right now. So all this is a way that data is providing not only jobs but is also important to take care of and needed to see, like, right? So yeah, that was the point I wanted to make. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. The amount of data we are using nowadays has increased exponentially. Like earlier, even like 15 GB of storage that we get used to be so much, but now it's so less for people. So yeah, definitely truly said, Madhukanda. So if anyone else has any point to say, they can raise their hands, or we move on to the next point. Yeah. Do you think data science or all the data that is being generated in so continuously is a threat to privacy? there have been so many instances and there have been so many debates and controversies around the misuse of data. For example, there was a controversy in the 2016 US presidential election where they stated that Facebook has misused data of US citizens to affect the results of US elections. Or people say that in China, the CCTV footage is uses data to monitor their citizens. So, do you think that this is an emerging, the field of data science is a kind of threat to the privacy of people?
Yeah, can I?
Yes, sir, please go
So,
ahead.
yeah, okay. So I think this is a very interesting topic, and I was doing a couple of sessions and a couple of other forums, and I kind of have a very different view on this. See, I think first of all, computers are made us very impatient, and let me explain to you by saying that. I'm so sorry. Can I just sorry, just had so computers have made us very impatient. Okay. So when I say impatient, is like it's a very simple thing. We started with simple Windows, and if it doesn't work, we suddenly are so panicked and impatient enough to get that thing running. You must have booted it 3, 4 times. You must have done so. There's a lot of impatience which creeps in when it comes to technology. That's one point. Keep that aside. Just to make a, I'm just trying to make an argument. Now, this impatience has become a behavior. Now, when this becomes a behavior, trust me, every different source of social media today, which is being used by you or which has been subscribed by you, does have a time terms and conditions, which you have an opportunity to tick it or not tick it. Okay. But unfortunately, our impatience creeps in so high that we generally just try and just take it off because we just want to move ahead and complete that work. I think that's one of the biggest ignorance which we do, which is the outcome of a lot of data breach and privacy. Like a very simple telecom example, if you subscribe to a do not disturb network, definitely you will not get spam calls, because they are all end of the day advertisers. So advertisers job is to communicate to you for their products and services. It could be an advertiser, so people are using the data of advertisers data into a different way. That is an ethics in business, which is a very different topic by itself. But the first part is definitely privacy is breached because of a individual's ignorance. That's my view. Like if you are a person who are more focused in terms of whatever you're ticking properly, whether you are endorsing to it, whether you are unsubscribing to a lot of things, that's the first step towards reducing this whole conflict of data privacy. I think that is the first thing which I sense. Obviously there are a lot of things which are not in your control because things move out of your control for sure, but at least prevention is better than cure, right? So you can probably do that. So my view is, uh, technology has been so rampantly dynamic and fast, it tends and makes us behaviorally very impatient for us to do things faster, and we kind of miss these boxes. I think that's the first step to really take care of, not getting into this whole cycle of being, data breach. However, said and done, obviously, data privacy definitely makes a big impact to people. I have seen businesses really faltering. Forget on a macroeconomic scale, what you're talking about, elections are definitely there, but at the smaller levels, competition level, functional levels, data privacy definitely has a long, it has a big repercussions of a lot of things. So process control is one of the key things to ensure that data privacy is taken care of, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, very well, sir. Actually, like everyone needs to be more diligent when it comes to their data and be more responsible. Thank you so much for your point, sir. Yes, Madhuganda, please go ahead.
So we were talking about how responsible we should about our data, right? When you go to any online service account, you need to create an account, right? You need to give your private data at that point of time, email address and password maybe, and then you need to tick a checkbox that gives you a brief about the terms and conditions that the online service is providing you. But we never read that, do
Same,
we?
yeah.
Please be be honest. We never do that. We never read that, and we just check box and like go ahead with the by creating our account. But once you read that, the company guarantees you that they are not selling your data, but they are also sharing the data with their partners, marketing partners. So the Facebook example Lavanya gave, right? So they are not selling the data, but they are sharing the data with their marketing partners, which makes like equal effect, because your data is after all getting shared with everyone else, you without you knowing. So that also causes a huge effect. And also like we also don't need take care about our passwords and everything. We select one password and we allot it to every account that we create online. So that's also makes our data more vulnerable to the breaching. And also like their hackers have grown themselves out right now. So they are launching every kind of malwares right now on your device or any company's organization, like Venkatesh mentioned. So it's like they are launching every kind of malwares right now to get your data, like ransomware, spyware. It's like very difficult to keep your data protected right now. So we really need to take care of that, I think. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
definitely.
true. I agree with you. Very true, because and that is exactly just to clarify this point. So if you look at a GDPR compliance, which is the new thing which India is still trying to, as an India as an entity is still trying to figure out the GDPR laws, which is the Global Data Privacy Right law. Where in that, if you go to UK or if you go to any country where GDPR compliance is there, there are two kinds of checkboxes which they ask you normally to tick on. One checkbox is whether we can use your data, whether we can use your data for marketing, and the other data is whether we can share your data to some other or upsell your product. So if you look at the most minutely on the latest GDPR compliances which is common, there are multiple checkboxes which we need to do. And that's exactly I'm saying. We are too impatient, and that's what I have kind of realized. Because everything is new for us. We dynamic, and we just want to do things. Somewhere down the line, there are compliances. We try and breach. We override them, and I think that's the first step towards conserving data privacy. So irrespective of the fact that if Facebook is taking your numbers or sharing or any social media, for an example, the first thing is you need to go through those terms and conditions. I think you can opt for upselling product list, but you can also opt out for not selling it to any other third party marketing for any other program. And that way also your profiles are not shared to any advertising data set for anybody to advertise. So you have options. See, and that's meticulousness of how these companies actually try and get your confirmation or your affirmation. But because it's so technically created, so much of smaller fonts, and first of all, we use computers where we have very shorter screens, so we just want to scroll down and just get out of it. I think that's where your buck stops. If you can just do something there, things should become much better, in my opinion.
Also, even if you go off that online service, you don't know what's happening with your data. They are keeping your data safe, and they can target advertisements to you, and how you were performing on that online platform. So you don't know what they are doing with your data. Even if you go offline, like you तुमने कसम खा ली कि अब तो data को बचाना है, but you can't do that because they have your data still. So it's not possible. There are certain ways like you can safeguard your data, like keep your firewalls on, apply two-factor authorization, but still like अब तो जो हो गया सो हो गया, and like try to keep your data safe from now onwards, right?
True.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes like people are too lethargic to like go into the technical details and safeguard their privacy, and then they blame it on the government or on the tech giants that they don't keep our data safe, because ultimately we are the ones who have to take care of it because it's our data. Now coming to the data science field, what do you think as a data science professional is more important, experience or skill? If a fresher with more skill, or an experienced person with a lot of experience, and uh, yeah, yes, Venkatesh sir, please go ahead.
No, so I think this is a very relevant point, and I do a little bit of teaching also in a couple of management students in colleges. So I just wanted to share this. I think one of the three key things in data science as a field is there are three key learnings which you need to know. One is definitely the concepts of mathematics and statistics. That is one A. A. If you look at three A, B, C areas which you have to become a successful person in data science, first is mathematics and statistics. The second is to understand programming or understand logic building for programming to, analyze data or analyze certain data sets, whatever you want to solve the problem. And the third and the most important thing is the business understanding. For example, if you are a data scientist and if you're exceptionally good at mathematics and statistics, okay, and you have been like you're like king in Python, you've cracked a lot of Kaggle codes, you've done some awards and everything, and you land up into an industry which you have no clue about. Like for example, you get into an industry like say construction. I'm just taking an example. Construction is a large industry. Now, till the time you don't understand the industry well or the pain points of the industry, the problems what the industry is going to go, you will never be able to use your first and the second skill, because you will not be able to build a logic about how a person is going to buy a house. Suppose you join a builder and you are a data scientist to drive sales of 25 different apartments which he has created. Now, what is the buying behavior of a person? How big is the house? What is the budget? Is it a small house or a big house? What kind of people are you trying to? So, a lot of questions of the market of the business becomes very, very important to you as a person to understand how to solve the problem. So, in my opinion, it is just not only learning mathematics or statistics or learning the best of programs. I think more importantly, you should know the business or probably spend some time understanding the business. It becomes very difficult, and I've attended a lot of forums where there have been series of discussion points about how a data scientist should have a good discussion with the client, because we talk from a mathematical perspective, we talk from an IT perspective, and I would probably say, sir, the correlation is so much, but the business guy doesn't understand what is correlation. He would say I'll say R square is equal to 0.8, sir. It's an amazing thing to do. But a business doesn't understand what is R square. So it is important for you to convert that mathematical solution into a business solution. And that can only happen if you know the business. So data science is just not about mathematics, statistics, and programming. A fundamental or a large area of learning is required in the business understanding, and that probably gives you a lot of scope to become confident to solve the problem. And most of the case studies talk about that, and that is where data science is really going in, because I have seen a lot of data scientists today, but technically, I don't know whether you have, I don't remember those Gartner report or some report, which is very categorically stated now the need of the hour is not just data scientists. The need of the hour today are business translators. The people who are business translators are people who can understand the mathematical solution and go back to the client and tell the client, you know what, this is the business solution for this mathematical solution. So Gartner, apparently, I don't remember those dates, but they say there's a huge demand of business translators who's going to be coming into the market more than data scientists, because everybody is learning Python, either from IIT, not from IIT. People are coding, people are learning databases. But who are those people who are trying to give the solution to the business? I have a challenge of attrition. Somebody is talking about running an algorithm, or somebody's talking about running a random forest. But how is going to help me as a business? That's the million-dollar question, and that is where the challenge is today. So business translation is one of the biggest things students or anybody as a professional in the area of data science is to have some sense of timing or some sense of time spent in the business environment. So the moment you get into a summer internship, I would request everybody and to spend some time in the business. Ask the business, how's the sales happen? What are the questions you have in sales? How does the finance work? How do you recruit people? Once you get a sense, like the sales recruitment of a person in an industry like construction is very different than recruitment of a person in an industry like FMCG. or an IT enabled service, because the behaviors are different, challenges are different, cost is different, the expectations are different, the job description is different. So it becomes important, if you're going to become an HR analytics trying to solve the attrition problem there, you should know what kind of people they hire. How do they hire people? How long the customers or the employee stays in that organization? I'm just giving an example. To just summarize, data science consists of three parts. One is the fundamental core of mathematics and science, which is no brainer. You need to know that. And second is, because you need to work on a complex data, you need to know different tools which are programming tools, typically the Pythons of the world, or probably somebody uses R, somebody uses Python, somebody. Now the world is moving into a non-coding environment. So there are people who are using Orange. A lot of corporates are using Orange today because it's a non-coding environment, very easy, just drag and drop. Somebody uses a SaaS to make easy things. The point is, it is very easy to learn these things because these are not skills; these are all subjects. Skill is to understand the business acumen. Mathematics is a skill. Programming is very easy. Programming is communication. If you know how to communicate and you have a logic, you can communicate better, right? And I always, whenever I do sessions, I always tell them, if I'm a South Indian staying in Punjab, I don't know to speak in Punjabi, but I have a logic to ask a person in the airport that where should I go and pick up a cab to go to a place, right? So logic is very important. Whereas syntax is very easy. After 3 months, I can speak in Punjabi because I've spent some time there. So in programming, I always believe it's about logic. Syntaxes are different. So I keep on, listening to these Python sessions. They say, C is easier, Python is little easier. It's all about syntax. Like it's like writing in Punjabi or writing in Tamil. But the point is, if you should know the logic, right? You should know that you should ask that guy, I have to go to this place. That is very easy. So skill set building is mathematical acumen, statistical acumen, and business acumen. Then only you will make a difference being a data scientist or in any area, engineer, data scientist, whatever. That's my take, and that's my share of voice on this.
Yes, sir, definitely. Experience is the key to turn knowledge into a powerful insight for a layman or someone who doesn't understand the technical stuff. That was very, very insightful. Yes, Madhukanda, please go ahead.
First of all, Venkatesh, are you at all related to Sudarshan sir? Because your title matches. You are also talking about Punjab, and he's a professor at
Oh,
IIT Ropar, Punjab. So I'm getting like mixed vibes here. Okay, so coming back to the point, I am not at all very much skilled in data science or experience. So for me, in my personal opinion, it's all about passion. You should have the passion to learn data science skills or gain experience. You can learn all these skills and you can gain experience anytime if you have the passion to do it, right? And before going for data science, you should be able to, any topic for that matter, you should be able to talk about it with that passion that you have. Like we are all talking about data science here and we are learning it, so we have that passion so that we can converse here. So for me, that's the first matter. And also, like, I was able to interact with Sudarshan sir through various boot camp sessions, and the he thing that he always says, like, when you try to solve a problem, you should know what is the question for which it is an answer, and like you should be able to comply that, and you should be able to make those changes that you want to do. Like, it's not about just going on data and interfering or inferencing some results. It's also about where can you apply it and how can you make better use of that data. So for me, like, these are all the things that drives you towards becoming a good data scientist. I believe, like, you can learn the skill and you can gain the experience, because I don't have any of them, so I can't talk about it much. And so you mentioned, like, programming is easy. If you can converse, you can do programming. Like, I felt
no,
very ashamed because I can't do good programming, and it's
no,
like
no. So
very
I'll tell you,
common.
I must admit, and I should share this point, and I think good you raise this point. So I did programming. I think when I was in class 5, and we had this compulsory subject known as basic, okay, and it was a tormenting thing for me because I had no understanding. I never wanted to learn English. Forget programming. And programming, when I saw it has to be written like list A equal to B, it was very very overwhelming for me. And that is where my mindset was. So I, despite the fact that I spent a lot of time in the area of science, in the area of computers, I always refrained from programming. And even now, because of the fact that I'm doing this foundation course, when I started this course, I always felt that, oh my God, this paper, this computational thinking and this Python, I have to get over it. The rest is still manageable. I think that's a mindset. First is get out of the mindset. And when I say how to get out of the mindset, is the way is to understand that programming has two parts, which, as and you made a very difficult comparison. I have no level of what Professor Zorishan sir is. I'm like very humble to understand that, but obviously, end of the day, he's a professor, and I look up to him at far esteem than what you have compared to me, and that's completely unfair for me to even comment on that. So he says, and I think that is what the business, I spent almost 18, 20 years working. And that's the reason I say, when you want to look at a problem, you look at a problem to solve the problem. So for solving the problem, there is a logic. Like if I have to go from Bombay to Chennai, there is a logic. The logic would be that, okay, you have to travel faster. Okay, then you take a flight. If you have a logic to, if you have a problem to address earlier, then you probably take a flight. One is logic and the second is communication. If you are, as I give you an example, when I was in Punjab, I didn't know to speak in Punjabi, but there was a logic for me to ask someone how to go from A place to airport. So the communication. So when you separate the logic and the communication, and in the programming language, it is the syntax. So first get the logic in place, so you know how to solve the Fibonacci series. Once you know what is Fibonacci series, you know what is the formula for Fibonacci series. That is 50% work done, and the remaining 50% is the grammar or the syntax. So you need, the way you write in C, probably you may not want, you may, the way you speak in Tamil and the way you speak in Hindi are different, right? So you have a different comma, full stop, capital, small. So if you look at English, English has got two genders, feminine and masculine. But in Hindi, there are certain words which are unigender. So you differentiate the grammar and the syntax of that language. If you could do that, then you will always be in a position to learn a new language whenever it launches, because your logic is correct. I have seen people in my organizations past, he's very good in C, but he can't do anything else. The reason is because they by heart the syntax. So if you keep the logic separately and learn the syntax as if you are communicating with someone, then your programming skills will become better.
Okay,
That, that's
great
that's my
point. Yeah.
so I think that is the only reason people get very afraid of programming. I have been a very unique example. I never did want to do programming. I never wanted to do computer engineering. I'm telling you as a person, but I ended up with 360-degree service for me. I'm like back to the same thing today. But the point is, keep it separate and keep it small. It's easy. And the biggest challenge when I teach management students, BE, BTech students still understand a lot of technical jargons. The biggest challenge in management institutes today is they are so naive about it, because these IT people, whatever said and done, they have given those names so difficult. Like the moment you tell I'm going to teach Python to someone, they will say, "Oh my God, Python! Oh my God!" That's the expression they have. The names become so dangerous, and so it's about how the mindset has been built. So don't have that mindset. I think keep the logic separate. Programming will be very easy, and you always have this replet which keeps on giving you problems and errors every time. So you don't have to close it. You can always solve the error and finally get the syntax right. So I feel that is the challenge today. People get very overwhelmed by programming because they kind of connect data science to programming. So there are a lot of less people who are business so immaculate in business, but they are not in a position to learn a little bit also, because they're so apprehensive. Like I see so many. I work with a lot of small and medium companies. That's what our company does, and they know better business understanding than us, but they are so reserved, because the moment you say data science, अरे नहीं नहीं sir, हम programming नहीं कर पाएंगे sir, हमसे नहीं होगा ये सब. I'm telling you that mindset has to shift. I was doing, I don't know whether I have shared this in this forum. So we kind of created a quadrant where we say there are two things. One thing is known as data culture, and one is known as one is data culture, and one is data driven culture and data driven mindset. So there are two different things. Data driven mindset means everybody has a mindset of being data driven. Whereas data driven culture is how much of that culture is percolating down in your organization. So in some other forum, maybe I will share that quadrant which I made. So it will get more clarity about why data science becomes more important. Anyways, so cool. So that's about it from my side. Just to make
Yeah.
her feel better that don't worry about programming. You'll always succeed.
No, I am right now a little bit comfortable because of Sudarshan sir only. The way he
Yeah,
taught
I
us
think he's
Python, he's
fabulous.
amazing. And
Yeah.
I can't compare him with anyone. He's like an inspiration to me. And I was so fortunate that I got to interact with him personally through those bootcamp sessions. And it like opened my eye. And I was very fortunate about that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
more
And people are also
simple.
confused about choosing yeah. And people are also confused about choosing languages like what should I choose R or Python for data science, which would be better. And I don't feel it's really about the language. Yes, Sudarshan sir is amazing, great. He can
It is
easily
not
replace
about
it.
the language. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It is not about the language. It's about how much you are. It's about, like as I said, nah. It's very simple. If you draw that comparison with you going to a foreign land, it's about you know what to ask, right? But only thing is you don't know how to ask because you don't know the language, and that is very easy to learn. But what to ask is not easy to learn. So in business, if you have to solve the business problem of increasing sales, you need to know what to solve. How to solve it using a language becomes very easy, like which fields to pick up, what kind of criteria you should put, and how to write the code to make it visually appealing. That's all like writing or learning English.
Yeah, those are
Anyways.
secondary things. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Okay, Lavanya, sorry we captured your session. I'm so sorry.
No, but I actually kind of agree with Venkatesh sir, because like experience gives you the power to actually identify the right problem, and skill gives you the power to solve that problem. So yeah, I kind of agree with both of you. Skill is important, passion is important, and experience just adds a little more icing to the cake by actually helping us identify the problem and then making other people who are not that. Uh, yes, sir, do you want to say something?
No, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, both experience and skill are equally important, if not more. So yeah, the next point goes on like, is data science just a rebranding of statistics? Like just like how you have mentioned that uh, all these decision making and working on data has been taking place since many years, and data science is just like a collection of applied mathematics, statistics, probability theory, etc. So would it be right to term data science as a rebranding of statistics and with a bigger scale?
Yeah, this is a very, yeah. Utkarsh, please go on. Utkarsh, please go on.
First of all, hello everyone, and hello Venkatesh sir.
No.
It's been a long time to talk to you.
Yes,
Finally, we
yes.
get a chance to meet you. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good question to say. Like according to my view, like whenever somebody asks me like what is data science, so that's give me an idea like how to explain data science. So basically, actually starts from the statistics because in my views, I actually see this data science is just applicative statistics. Like beforehand till now, it was statistics till, if you ask me like in 11th, 12th, or maybe in colleges, what do we do with these formulas? Like what do we do with the tables? What do we do with the survey? So data science gives us an aspect like what to do with that, how to give this data, this all the survey collected through the all the data collected through the survey, and what to do with it, what is the problem, and what how to deal with it. And also with this, what I got to learn, like right now, I am doing tools in data science. So in that, what I have seen that in the subject itself, they have been teaching us how to translate or how to do storytelling with this data. So I believe, yes, statistics, this data science is a modern approach of statistics, revolutionary for the statistics, and people will find it very interesting. interesting now to do statistics. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll just to add up to what Utkarsh was saying, and let me explain this more technically, if it makes sense for everybody. One of the important things in statistics is there are two parts. One is the descriptive statistics and one is the inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics would probably give you the description of what is happening in the system and why it is happening to a little extent. Whereas inferential statistics will help you to get to know what can probably be the outcomes and what are the decisions probably you could take. Now, statistics typically has been there since ages, since in long, long ages. And in statistics, there are different modes of testing or getting a solution. One of the key difference in statistical approach is you always use one particular formula for solving a problem, and then you complete that for problem and you get an outcome A, and then you see whether the outcome is significant or not, and then you probably go back and solve the problem B solve the same problem A with a different formula. Sometimes you use a regression or some test which you use. Whereas if you look at data science, what data science does is it probably in a branch of data science which is machine learning, it probably creates a situation where the same problem A is actually solved through all the 4 or 5 different problems, or all the 4 or 5 different methods which are used in statistics, and it gives you the most optimum answer. And hence, data science, or in the area of data science, machine learning becomes far different than only statistics. Let me give you an example. If I have to find an average of, if I have to find the average height of people in Bombay, if you look at a statistical approach, or I could probably just do a survey, get an average, and that could be one way of doing it, and I'm done with it. But if I have to do, say, a forecasting of sales, I would probably take average sales, and I will take for the next 3 months, and I will give you the sales figures. But when it comes to a machine learning, I could probably use all the techniques of statistics and then give in a method is, say, if I run the same in what do you say, in a decision tree model, I would run the same particular problem with a algorithm or a regression model, I will get different answers, and I get an opportunity to get the best out of those different answers in the shortest time. I think that's where machine learning and data science become more effective. Statistics becomes more defined and sequential, in my opinion.
Yes, definitely. If anyone else has to say something on this, you can raise your hands and give your views.
How
Uh,
long are we doing this? Are we done? Like, is this?
like just a couple of more points, and then we are wrapping up. Yeah. So the next point is, who can deliver better results, data scientists or domain experts? For example, if there is a problem related to psychology, or let's say archaeological advances since 50s or 40s, so whether an archaeologist would be better in taking a informed decision based on the data, or a data scientist, like someone who already has knowledge about the field itself, and would they be able to make better decisions, or data scientists would be able to take a better decision with the help of data science tools? Yes, Madhugandha, please go ahead.
Thank you. So for I believe like it should be a combined effort because data scientists predict all those information based on datas, and datas can be false, right? Because people can fill wrong data about themselves. Like for example, when you are doing any survey for you said like psychological or sociological purpose. For example, we can take the example of why women in India hesitate to use sanitary pads during menstruation. So women are tend to give wrong data about it and mislead the data science approach of the process, I guess. But if you have some professional support of that specific domain, you are more probably there is more probability that you will get a better result in the same a survey. So I think it should be a collaborative.
Yes, definitely. They both definitely go hand in hand because, just like you said, that information can be irrelevant up to some extent. So, yeah, if anyone else has something to say, they can unmute or raise their hands, or else we'll move on to the next point. So, the final point for today is data science a temporary fad? For example, many predict that machine learning engineers would take up the jobs of data scientists, or auto ML will replace what data scientists do in current age and time. So, do you think that data science is a dying field, or it is a temporary fad?
So yeah,
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
yeah, Madhu, please, Madhu Ganga, you can start, and then I could probably talk, please.
I wanted to go second, that's why I raised my hand later. Okay, no
No, no,
problem.
no,
So,
no.
uh, no problem, I'll go ahead. So no, I don't believe like data science is a dying field at all, because for those machine learning models to work, you need a data scientist who will provide you some better results for the data you are using for that model. Also, like auto ML is like still, I believe, a far short somehow. So no, I don't believe like data science is dying somewhere near. I believe like it's going to stay for a long time, and more opportunities are going to come in the field, and people are going to interpret more data. Thank you. Yes,
Can I
Venkatesh, sir.
say something? Can I say?
Yes,
Yes,
Bharat,
sir.
yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
I want to say that the in the field of data science, we can learn like the new platforms which are developed like Power BI. The new companies are working on the Power BI platform, and they are skipping that Tableau. Previously, they were working on that, and for data visualization and taking data through data science. And I want to ask that we should learn these technologies along with the uh, our course or not.
I guess, Venkatesh, sir, you can
I
answer
didn't
this
get your
answer
question
well.
actually.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
neither did I.
No, I think just to answer what Bharat is saying, if I try to comprehend what he said that there are new technologies are coming like Tableau or possibly BI. Is it request? It is good. Is it good? If I'm not wrong, is it good to learn these tools also during our course? Is that what you asked, Bharat?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that only.
Yeah, so I don't know on behalf of everybody or just probably with my experience, I'm just trying to share this one. Definitely, these tools are going to be there, and these tools are going to get evolved. So when we started with Microsoft 95, today we are at Microsoft 2017 or 2000, whatever it is, because every time the tools get evolved, the product is always evolving, and the products are more made more UI and UX friendly. That means more easier for any consumer to use those tools. So if you understand the concepts and foundations of how you do analysis, how you use statistics, these tools becomes very easy to learn also in a shorter while. So adapting to technologies becomes very important. These tools are very critical to learn in the industries, because the moment you graduate and you work in an organization, some organization will implement a Zoho, some organization probably have a Power BI. You might be a data scientist, you might be doing traditionally writing a code to fetch a data or create a visualization. But using these tools like Tableau or all of these can help you to do it faster. So, and it's easy if you have your foundations in our lectures. And how whether it to be included or not, maybe not a right person or forum to ask. I think the IITs definitely would help us to learn more about that. Is that making sense, Bharat?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
So I think that is what I just wanted to answer his query. The second part of this question, which Lavanya had raised about is it going to stay? I think this was a question when e-commerce launched. most of the FMCG companies said that, we are going to be out of, most of the shopkeepers, I'm talking about the Kirana shopkeepers, they said we are going to be out of the jobs because e-commerce is going to directly deliver everything to home. But have you seen the way it has changed now? If you anybody who has made money during COVID is the person who's a Kirana wala. The next to your house, the Kirana wala who sells daily milk, vegetables, and groceries, he has made the highest amount of revenue and money in this whole 2.5 years of COVID. The localization is very critical. So, only thing what has happened is that guy has created his own opportunity. There are two things he has adapted to. One thing what he has adapted to is home delivery, and the second thing he has adapted to is Paytm or using a wire payment. I think data science is only going to give you more benefits, more opportunities of employment, more opportunities to grow. All you need to do is learn and adapt to those changes of technology. uh, that's the only thing which will be, because it was always there. I always give this example when say whenever somebody is coming to my home, my mom has got she is a perfect analyst. She knows exactly what people will eat on Sunday, so she does a planning. Within 3 days before, she would buy all the proper vegetables, keep it in the refrigerator. She would get all these menu items done because they are planned. There is a planning which is already there. She knows who's going to eat what. So we always had this idea of planning, idea of forecasting, idea of interpreting what people want. The only thing, the scale has become bigger, so we are using tools like data science and statistics and mathematics to solve it. Correct. So it is always going to stay. It's about how much you adapt to technology and how much progressive you are. I was reading yesterday a very interesting article that print industry is completely declined before COVID, and they had given a growth rate of some 6%. Okay, I'm talking about print is the newspaper print, but yesterday's report said that the print industry has grown by 39%, which was never even thought of, because every .com company or every e-com company is having to eventually print on the newspaper. There are full page ads of Amazon coming. There are full page ads of Flipkart coming of mega sale. So it is always going to stay. It's about how much you adapt and how much you change yourself for making the benefit of it.
Yes, so definitely. Evolution is the key, and for that, we need to be more adaptable to the
Absolutely.
change. So, with that, if anyone else has to say something, they can unmute themselves or raise their hands, or we'll wrap up the event now. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. And stay tuned for we have many more interesting events lined up by the Sundarbans Oratory Club. And thank you all for joining in.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. I actually thought there was someone who's going to give some lecture on data science, and we ended up speaking ourselves. But very nice to interact with all of you. At least I saw some students. I saw Utkarsh, because we don't never see any from IIT people. So it's nice. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you all of you, and all the best for
It
your
was
proper
lovely
next.
hearing you, sir.
Sure. I am a part of, by the way, my house is something else. I don't know. Some house is there. I think I come from, yeah, I think I'm from the same house. I don't know which house, but some other
Yeah,
house.
you are from the same house. Yeah, from
Oh, okay. I'm from the same house. No,
yeah.
I kind of don't follow that, but I think these are interesting, and do keep us posted to listen to a lot of more people. I think you should engage with more people, Lavanya. You should ensure that there are 5 speakers speaking apart from us next time, and let them make something and come. Let them create some. You can give a topic so that people can really do research, and there could be some inciting stuff. You could listen to all of you.
Yes, so we will definitely try that in future events. Usually the participation is less, so we cannot do it to the full extent. But
No, but if you could give a topic a week before and you say that people who will talk, so they can get time to prepare also.
yes, definitely we will try this on from the next event onwards. Thank you so
Thank you,
much, sir.
Lavanya. Thank you all of you. Pleasure talking to all of you, and thank you so much to listen to me patiently. Bye.
Thank you, sir,
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thanks, Utkarsh. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining in. So the session is over, Lavanya, right?
Yeah, it's over now. You can
Okay.
exit if you want.
Nice session, Lavanya.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
everyone, and you can leave.
Thank you for joining.
Yeah, it was nice one.